Trouble. Watch out. Watch you, we keep them all. Say we keep them all. And go down. Hey. Watch you, we keep them all. Say we keep them all. And go down. Just catch it on the balance wheel. 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 Jesus, are you balance? Trouble. Watch out. Watch you, we keep them all. Say we keep them all. And go down. Hey. Watch you, we keep them all. Say we keep them all. And go down. Just catch it on the balance wheel. 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 Jesus, are you balance?
Yo, why you come to me with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister. and is a prime minister around the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right stand that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Happy Tuesday to those in television land. Happy Tuesday to our silent supporters. Happy Tuesday to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate the continued support. Remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show some support by subscribing. It will be greatly appreciated. And also our membership is still active. So those who want to give extra support by joining the membership are welcome to do so. Tonight's topic is Extrajudicial and Merciless with your host, Mystic Sensation, which is Baron and Anne-Marie. And we also have Melting Pot. Unfortunately, we will not be joined by Mr. Ratigan or Daisy Magazine tonight. I'm gonna give an umbrella welcome to those in the chat because the chat is already gone. So an umbrella welcome. Thank you so much for your continued support and endorsement. Everything is greatly appreciated. Without any delay, I am going to hand over to Byron so I can do some housekeeping and also a special shout out to all our channel members and to all of our moderators.
All right. Thank you, Lady Mystic, for that. My Jamaican people, home and abroad, right? I want to say once again, right, welcome to another live stream, Mystic Sensation, Positive Vibration. And to all the people in the chat who continue to give us the energy, we are saying a big thanks to you all and an umbrella welcome, right, to every single person tuning in. Now, before we started, I'm just going to have, okay, Brother Melting Pot camera is off, but let me just say that tonight we have some serious subject matters, right, to discuss. But, Parliament.
Continue talking.
Okay.
Continue talking.
What is it?
Jamrock was saying something, so I'm looking into what he said.
Okay. And what he said.
To go back to the House of Parliament.
Okay.
Now, so
all
I'm
right.
seeing what's going on over there.
Let us quickly, before we start, let us quickly switch to the House of Parliament, right? And to, because it is still going on, and we want to capture some data from there. So let us switch right to what is going on there,
Oh, the opposition walked out.
Okay.
The opposition walked
Apparently,
out.
the opposition walked out. The opposition walked out of Parliament.
So we're not going back over there.
Okay.
I guess that's what he wanted us to see what happened.
All right. So the opposition had walked out of Parliament. I don't know the reason as to why, because, obviously, right, we are speaking live just now, right? So we're going to have to get that information and, right, speak on it in terms of, when we come off and investigate that. But we have some serious issues, right? We had seen that the opposition, and let me say this, people, the opposition members, the People's National Party members of Parliament, I am telling you, right, they had done an excellent job. When I said excellent job from Wavel Hines, right? I mean, every single person is performing. I mean, all 4 cylinders. Boy, it doesn't seem like a 4-cylinder they have. It seems like they have 6 cylinders or 8 cylinders. And they are burning from every cylinder, right? We have a situation as it relates to what Wavel Hines exposed relating to Babsy Grange and money being collected, right? Millions being collected and only a meager amount spent. I hope the Auditor General receive that information, because if you don't, trust me, Mystic Sensation is going to package it and we are going to send it to you. But before we go any further, let us have Brother Melting Pot to meet and greet his people. Brother Melting Pot.
Mic check, mic check.
Solid.
Sound panel.
Solid.
All right.
Solid.
Blessed, blessed. Greetings and blessing, my people. Enough love and respect as usual from the melting pot. You don't know we're there, so Tuesday night time, it's mystic time, you know. And even though the panel, you know, a bit shorter members tonight, we still have to deal with the thing the right way, how to deal with it. Yeah, as my brother said, extrajudicial killing are the subject matter. And we have more things, you know, but we are dealing with extrajudicial killing. So I'm big up all of my fans, them as usual, especially down in the ground. You know, enough respect and enough love to them people the same way. All of the blood and fire come with them. I mean, I will tell you no tonight, because I left out some people, I'm not left out, you know. You see, all of the diaspora from UK, Canada, and America, down in Barbados and all them places there, yeah, right round the world, enough love and respect from the Mystic Sensation platform. You understand? Because you see, without you people, the show no go on, you know. And you people make the show go on, you know. Because you don't know, we have to come, you know, relate to you people, the subject matter what we have on a weekly basis. And, you know, you people keep us energized in the platform. You understand? So, enough love and respect. Big up all the 2 mile lights, them comrade, you know. Big them up. Yeah, man. The whole of 2 mile. Waltham, Maxfield, Greenwich Farms, place like 6th Street, 5th Street, 4th Street, North Street, all at North Avenue, all of them places. Big them up. Yeah. Payne Avenue, Howard Avenue, Esplut Avenue, East Road. Big them up same way. You understand? Yeah. Nelson Road, Fitzgerald Avenue. Yeah. Rodney Road, Alexander Road. Big them up same way, because you see them people, when we are real comrade them. Whitfield Town Heights, them big them up same way. Mama P, old stomping ground. Yeah. So enough love and blessing all over. I say to the opposition members them, enough love from the Mystic Sensation platform, because I see the work on I put in, you know, it reach a crescendo, you know. Yeah, where it expose some serious variants. I like Mr. Hines. Yeah. Cause me know him is a man who deal with sports, you know. Me like how him come rock back the grain pan the knuckle. Too steelish. You understand? So, you know, you see the host, Sir Lord Byron, enough love and respect, you know. Because you see, as a host, him always have everything on the toast machine. You know, we have to toast them, you know. Yeah, and you see to the technical director with the gold finger, Sister Lady and Marie, enough love same way. So, without any further ado, me have to hand back the floor to the host, you know, because you see too much people for mention, but I want umbrella love for your blood and fire, comrade. Melting pot straight. Over to you, Sir Lord Byron. Over to the host. Nah, hear you, know, Sir B. No volume.
Hold on. Go on top, melting pot.
Go on top.
Here.
Yeah, me I hear you now.
Hold on.
I'm hearing you now. Yes, my people. Seem like we have some little technical issue, you know, from the main studio. But you know, we have Goldfinger behind the scene, you know, she will rectify that soon. You understand? But in the meantime, my Jamaican people, yeah, what we are talking about right now, you know, as it relates to extrajudicial killing, you know, the real subject matter for discussion, you know, because boy, I see something I go on in Jamaica with the police, them there and the citizens, and it don't look good. You understand? And what is so depressing is the lie coming from the police, them, when them a report to the media. The media even have watch the video and can't tell them, so them a tell lie. Yeah, because the media is so, you know, ineffective when it comes to reporting. Yeah, that's them don't do them work in the proficiency way.
All
Yeah,
right,
like them
Melting Pot.
professional.
Are you hearing me now, Melting Pot?
Yes, me I hear you now, loud and clear, sir B.
Loud and clear. All right. Yeah. We apologize for the technical difficulty. Can you find that clip with Dayton Campbell? Before we start, we want to play a little piece of Dayton Campbell, right, so that the people, right, can understand what happened, and then we just do a little thing in terms of dissecting that. Now, Jamaica, let me say this tonight live is going to be interesting, right? So stick and stay while we are getting into the groove.
Let me just find it where it's supposed to start.
Right. We want to start with Dayton Campbell, right? Facts checking Andrew Holness, the deceiver, the liar, and the scammer. And we want to get back there, right? Because we want, of course, them to be exposed because of the high level of corruption. We tell them 2026, right, is the year of reckoning. And no doubt about that, when we said 2026 is the year of reckoning, we are going to make sure that indeed 2026 is indeed the year of reckoning. So let us just give a little piece of Dayton Campbell, right? My apology again, we start out a little bit rocky, but technical difficulties, we do experience that at times. All right, here we go as it relates to Dayton Campbell.
The first thing that we're hearing is that if we did not do this, we would have to increase taxes. But several times, the members on this side, including the Prime Minister himself, has gone out and said that we increased taxes on the backs of the people in our previous administration. And he himself said that this was a raid on the NHT. And he said that these funds should be ring-fenced. He said that in the House, and he said that on national programs. No. The point is being made that, yes, there is a disaster. No. There was a natural disaster in 2025, Hurricane Melissa. But there was a man-made disaster in the JLP administration between 2007 to 2011. Because when there was the international crisis, the depression, their Minister of Finance said that it would benefit Jamaica. That's what he said. They went on to then abandon the IMF agreement. And it is because of those reasons that we were placed in a position that we had to draw down on the funds from the enemy. To now come and make the very point that because you have a disaster, you now can draw down on it when you took the opposite position a few years ago, cannot just be allowed to pass as if it is nothing. The member from Northeast St. Ann is making the point that it is because of fiscal responsibility and the position that we are in. The debt to GDP of Jamaica at that time was over 140%. The debt to GDP now is less than 100%. How is it that they complained at that time when the debt to GDP was over 140 to say that this was irresponsible and should not be done? But now when the debt to GDP is down, way less than 100, all of a sudden it is now the fiscal responsibility to do. That level of hypocrisy cannot be allowed to stand. The next point, Mr. Speaker, that is being made, that, oh, this is because of Melissa. This has been going on for 10 long years. Melissa was 2025. This has been going on from 2016. So the government cannot be allowed to just come to the parliament and to totally ignore the total tribal statements that they made before, unpatriotic statements when they placed the country in a precarious position and we had to beg to restore Jamaica's reputation. They can't come now to ignore that and suggest that all of a sudden what they are doing is the responsible. They are being hypocritical. Now, Mr. Speaker, I heard a few things being said here today. The Prime Minister said that they're not ignoring the law. Who was ignoring the law back then when he was carried on? I beg your kind pardon. I beg your kind pardon. I beg your kind pardon. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. No. The Prime Minister said that the leader of opposition is willing to put the country at risk because of ego. What was the leader of opposition in 2013 doing when he was opposing here, when he was supporting court action against it, when he was doing everything to ensure that we could not withdraw the funds from NHP, and at that time the debt to GDP was much worse than what it is now? Was it ego that he was putting the country at risk for them? Was he putting the country at risk for ego at that time? That level of hypocrisy, PM, is palpable. Palpable. No. I learned that in medical school in 2003, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, the Prime Minister went on to say that we do not have a demand problem. Only for people want houses. As a matter of fact, 150,000. I am paraphrasing for the member there that is not familiar with the English language. I am not yielding for that. The essence of the Prime Minister's point is that we do not have a demand problem. There is no point of order.
Member,
there is no point of order.
Member,
there is no point of order.
Member, you cannot determine that. It's not for you to determine. It's not for you to determine. Allow me to hear. It's not for you to determine.
What is the
member? Your point of order.
Yeah.
Not only is the member misleading the House, he's factually incorrect. The Prime Minister never said that there was not a demand problem. What the Prime Minister said is that even if we wanted to spend the over $100 billion that were needed to spend to build houses, we did not have the capacity to do it. So he's not being factually correct in saying that the Prime Minister said there wasn't a demand problem. So he's misleading the House.
Member, you can now take back the floor.
Point of order.
You're telling me that you're taking a point of order and a point of order. No, no, no. Continue with the presentation.
Mr. Speaker, the member is not listening to his leader because the Prime Minister made the point in trying to position the argument in a basic economic principle of demand and supply. He said that Jamaica does not have a demand problem. There's a need for 150,000 houses. Jamaica has a supply problem. That is what he said. So that member should listen to the Prime Minister when he's speaking. No, I am saying, if there is a supply problem where we are short 150,000 houses, who could help to increase that supply to the market? Who? If we make an intelligent guess, could the National Housing Trust actually play a role in putting those, in increasing those supply to the market? Absolutely yes is the answer. No. The Prime Minister went on to say, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister went on to say that there are issues, and the member from Northeast Centre said it, there are issues that would cause them not to be able to build the houses. One, land issues. That is why in the last election campaign, we said that we would decrease the period of time for you to own government land from 60 years to 25 years, so that we will put land in possession of the people so that they could build on their own lands. Because it's not all of the construction has to come from government. People can build on their own land.
Because we have some serious issues here, very serious issues that we need to discuss. Right? Jamaica, this is extremely serious, and I want people to pay attention to this. Right? Particularly where NHT is concerned. Here it is that Andrew Holness, people listen, Andrew Holness, as it relates to Portia Simpson using funds from the NHT to shore up the budget, right? And Portia Simpson did just not do that in terms of, doing it unilaterally. She had spoken to the PSOJ. She had spoken to the technocrats, right, who decided that, okay, all right, we all discuss it, and this is the way to go. And to know that Andrew Holness at the time, right, spoke out against it and encouraged persons to carry Portia Simpson to court because he said that the NHT money should not be touched because that money belongs to contributors, persons who contributed. Brought forward as it relates to Andrew Holness' administration. Remember that Andrew Holness claimed that that should be ring-fenced. But what we have seen now, this is very serious in Jamaica. We have seen that Andrew Holness go back on his own word. And guess what? Drawing down on NHT annually. Remember when Portia Simpson had done it, it was a one-time basis. One-time basis. But here it is that Andrew Holness drawing down annually. But guess what? The art of the problem and where it is very serious, and I want people to go back to what Fitz-Jackson said today. Fitz-Jackson said something important. It's just because I am just, not getting any chance to run through those clips because you understand that, okay, we break off from that and we are getting to this. So then I am just now making mention of what Fitz-Jackson is saying. Fitz-Jackson is saying that the NHT is broke. That's what Fitz-Jackson is saying. While Andrew Holness is telling Jamaica that the NHT, right, has money, but at the same time, low-income homes, right, cannot be built to offer to the contributors. Now let us get very serious with this. Let us get very serious with this. Andrew Holness' administration took money from the NHT and put into SSL. Put ed tax money into SSL, the statutory bodies, monies into SSL. Jamaica, wake up. Because what we are looking at, as it relates to what Fitz Jackson is saying, and what Dayton Campbell is saying, holding the Prime Minister accountable, right? We need to now deep dive as it relates to the capital injection of NHT. Listen to what I'm saying, people. Right? Now, Andrew Holness continues to be drawing down $11.4 billion annually. But while doing so, guess what, Jamaica? We are not seeing low-income homes being building for contributors. This is very serious. The corruption, right? Turn up to the max. And the Auditor General now, let me say this, that the Auditor General need to focus now as it relates to the availability of capital injection into NHT. What is there? Now, let me ask a question before I put melting pot, because tonight, very serious. Let me ask this question. The money that was placed from NHT into SSL, have we gotten it back? Auditor General, let me talk to you. Please, Pamela Monroe, please, you are doing an excellent job. And I'm saying to you that NHT funds put into SSL, EdTax, NIS, no other Prime Minister had done that. No other Prime Minister had taken statutory bodies' monies and put into SSL when they know that SSL doesn't have a license. The fact of the matter, they are aware that they know that SSL doesn't have a license, and you take up these monies and you put it into SSL, and then SSL converted it to your personal use. We have seen Andrew Holness, right, took out a $0 account into NCB, and where SSL sent, right, money into that account, and Andrew Holness enjoy it and coming out now in Parliament, right, to talk what? To say what? This is madness. So let me just have Brother Melting Pot squeeze into this, because tonight a bangarang, trust me, people. Now, Brother Melting Pot, let us hear from you as it relates to the nastiness, what is going on with NHT and Andrew Holness administration.
Well, I mean, at some time it would have come to light, and I like how Fitz Jackson come highlight the matter. Because we know an entity under such pressure from a government, as it relates to drawing down 11.4 billion annually, making it a part of this, making that entity, NHT, a part of central government, basically. It would have leave hole, and the hole is now being exposed. You can't look through it. Because under no circumstance, contributor money must not be utilized in the manner that Andrew Holness is using it. We all knew when Portia Simpson had to go to the NHT to utilize some funding and the circumstance surrounding that. And as you rightfully said, she did not go in unilaterally. She consulted with the PSOJ and other relevant authority. Now, Andrew Holness and his cabinet at the time, his membership at the time, tried to even use lawsuit to prevent Portia Simpson Miller from utilizing NHT fund. And he coming out and saying that NHT money should not be used by government. But what he has done the very same thing that he was, going against. And you can't have a guy like this in the space to do this type of thing. But we established that. Now, we could look on the situation where we know NHT is supposed to experience right now. Because I'm gone 100 billion, And I mean, when you don't have job being created, it's going to lessen the contribution pool. So we know the fact of the matter say job creation in Jamaica is down to bare minimum. Yeah. So it can't be that a streamline of fund is going into NHT at the moment. What is happening is that a streamline of fund is being withdrawn from NHT. So it leaves contributors now in the hands of the holiness them. Yeah, because what him do, is robbing all the statutory deduction from people wages, Yeah. Can't go in a various agency, not just NHT, and him use the money and him put it into an unregulated scheme that don't have any license to operate, that him himself know very well says a corrupted scheme is a mafia scheme. But when do him take the country money and put in it and convert it to his money? That's what him did. You understand? That's what Andrew Wallace did in my Jamaican people. Steal blatantly contributors' money. Yeah? Him and the Cross with them and Darrell Vaz and the other. You understand? And it's not like him don't know the full extent of the Ponzi scheme, Him know it's a mafia thing. Him know nobody now get the money. Yeah? So in the agency them, yeah? Why would a government, yeah, take its agency money, yeah, and put into a corrupted scheme? This guy is an evilous criminal individual, yeah, and it must be dealt with. Now we have seen where low income house now come off of NHT radar. Not now bill for them, When house is making a Jamaica some top million a year about, Yeah, them people can't have none. And him come up with some, vague idea about land problem. Yeah, well, Marky G them did address that. And say we are going to do some land reform and give people title we have them land. Once them have them title. Yeah, NHT now if you are worried about to go find land to build a house for them. Them can't just build the house for the people them land. So that was the PMP solution to Andrew problem when create said no land no there. But when them want land to build them white elephant, them find it. Because remember I'm friend in a UDC, We know about all of the land them in the country. Them know where there. Even over Clifton. Remember I did say, Leaching did want it for plant what pepper and all them stuff there. Yeah? So we know the sugar belt land them exist. Yeah, them not build out. But this guy come and say he can't find land to build up low income house for contributor. But at the same time, he might take the contributor the money. When him not put in a SSL, he might put in a central government. So what is there for the contributor? So a real investigation need to be done as it relates to auditing into NHT. And the management up there must be investigated as well. Because it seems like it's him at the butter for Andrew bread. Him butter up Andrew bread with contributors' money. Because if me in charge of an entity, you could have prime minister come where you can't come use it like a year one or a central government money. Yeah? And that is why it showed the difference between the People's National Party and the Jamaica Lion Party. Because Mama P, did not go in unilaterally. Yeah, she seek consultation with private sector organization and other people within the system. Not like this guy who just had do things off a theme one agenda. Yeah? And at the same time, when things fall along him come tell lie. And your oldness had a plan for Jamaican. Yeah? Let me tell the people, before him even enter into representative politics, he had a plan, because he was a criminal from day one. That is why everything we're doing is criminally designed. Yeah? This is why I have so much problem with the country money, left, right, and center the country money. I leave donation the man a rob. The man is too serial and fat criminal. And we have to expose him. Because there's nothing can come set to we right now, We have so much line of investigation upon the criminal as it relates to capital in the country. Yeah? Right now, the man has shipped out money out of the country. Because of the money laundering, let me tell you people. So even money have come out of the country and they're overseas. Yeah? So this guy, we can't have him and he must be investigated. Yeah? Over a decade what of constant withdrawal from the NHT must leave the NHT with a big deficit. Yeah? A big hole where them can't fill. So all the thing need to be done. Yeah, and people need to expose, and Andrew need to answer to the amount of money when take out of the agency and put in a SSL. We have not heard anything about the state money. And I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
Well said, Melting Pot, and I do agree that an audit needs to be done, right? Serious audit needs to be done where NHT is concerned. Because here is Fitz Jackson, right? He's saying that the NHT doesn't have any money, right? And Andrew Holness is saying that, right, the NHT have money. But we know that Andrew Holness take money from NHT and put it into SSL. A lot of corruption. And at the same time, if NHT did have money, why low-income homes not building as it relates to the contributors? Why are they not building? But let me go to something, because this is very serious, Jamaica, as it relates to why Mark Golden and the rest of members of Parliament and the opposition side walked out of Parliament. Now, look, Jamaica. Remember that we have Juliet Holness pressuring Dr. Angela Burke about discipline, obedience to the standing order. And here it is that an FLA report that involved some corrupted ministers as well. Juliet Holness is suppressing that report. As a matter of fact, Juliet Holness had gotten the report from March 30, 2026 and sit on that report. Jamaica, look on the embarrassment. Look on the hypocrite. Juliet Holness. I mean, leap down on Angela Brown Burke to touch the mace and saying to Angela Brown Burke, right, to obey standing orders. No, make we talk about this. So then, it's only other members of Parliament need to obey the standing orders, and Juliet Holness don't obey the standing orders. Now you come in at the center of the fire now, Juliet Holness. It is not the first time you have done this, It is not the first time you have done this. Integrity Commission investigators send report to you and you suppress it and said that it needs to go to the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee that you sit on, because you know that you and your husband are under investigation. This is the reason, Jamaica. This is the reason why it is wrong for Juliet Holness sits on the speaker's chair. Jamaica, the whole world, more you understand what Juliet Holness had done. Correcting and beating down Angela Brown Burke, right, to respect and be obedient to standing orders, while Juliet Holness sits on a report as it relates to investigation into FLA. People, let us show you why the reason why the opposition walk out a bang around this. This is serious. Only look at people. Only look upon this. Look on this. Look on this. Jamaica, this is serious.
Delays in the tabling of reports coming to Parliament from the Auditor General and the Integrity Commission. That culminated in the Speaker, I think on November 11th, 2023, issuing her position on that matter. And I'm going to read from that. And I quote, reports of the Director of Investigation submitted under Section 54, subsection 4, and that's of the Integrity Commission Act, will be tabled as soon as possible after receipt by the Parliament, having regard to the serious nature of the matters that are contained therein. It will be requiring the immediate and direct attention of the House. After it is tabled, it will then be submitted to the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee for their consideration and report. And I add in parentheses, at that point, it would be a public document that the media, the whole of Jamaica, and all parliamentarians would have had the benefit of being able to see. I continue. Kindly note, all reports from the Integrity Commission will be reviewed by the officers before they're tabled, and it will be tabled in the soonest possible time. No effort will be made to delay such reports. End of quote. That was the Speaker's ruling. This report concerning the Firearms Licensing Authority, a public body that has most serious statutory functions, came to this House on March 30, 2026. The cover letter from the Integrity Commission said that the report contains serious matters concerning governance, maladministration, corruption, etc. We are now in mid-May, and that report has not been tabled today. Reports that came to Parliament on Thursday last week, 4 of them, about relatively junior public servants who didn't comply with their statutory declaration filing deadlines. Those have been tabled today, but a more serious report has not been. Parliament allegedly says because the FLA brought proceedings in court, that is relevant to this decision. But in the Ian Hales matter, the court definitively said that the tabling of reports or any other document in Parliament is a matter which is immune from any kind of jurisdiction of the courts. And there's no court order, and there could not properly be any court order affecting the tabling of this report. So this is a most serious matter. We are sure that that report contains very serious matters that the public, the opposition, the media has a right to see and wants to see. And yet we see it being suppressed by the delay in tabling it. And that is untenable. The whole purpose and objective of the Integrity Commission Act is thwarted and undermined if the work of the Integrity Commission, its investigative work culminating in its reports, are sent to Parliament and are not tabled on a timely basis. This is affecting the democracy of the country, the governance of the country, and the public have a right to see it. And we demand that it be tabled today.
Mr. Speaker, the opposition's characterizations are most unfortunate for somebody who holds his office. There is absolutely no suppression. There is absolutely no undermining, and there's absolutely no infringement on our democracy. And I will indicate why quite clearly. As the opposition leader indicated, the Speaker has said that the report...
Stop it. Yes, stop it. Let me see the chat, because I want to see my people when I am addressing my people. Here it is. Floyd is saying to us, because, you know, we have no intelligence. We have no intelligence. Talking over our heads. Right? That Mark Golan is over his head. And Mark Golan is exaggerating. And there is no suppression of any report. No suppression of any report. Let me ask you a question, Floyd Green. When did Juliet Holness, when did Parliament receive the report? When did Parliament receive the report, Floyd Green? Now, the report sent to Parliament on March 30, 2026. Today is what date? Come on, Floyd Green. Today is what date? Only today is what date? Today is the 19th of May. The law, and also Juliet Holness agreed with the law. What the law says. No delay should be made in tabling the report. Then, is Mark Golan lying in terms of when the report sent to Parliament? March 30, 2026. And that report has not been tabled. And yet you with your bare-faced self, you where the COVID-19 policies dictate, and you breach the COVID-19 policy as it relates to breaching the gathering within 3 meters, and you were seen clustering with people because you're a member of parliament, you're a liar. And you are saying to us, because guess what? None of us have any intelligence. This is the way how you decide, your administration decide that you people are going to rob, corrupted on yourself. And yes, talk to them, tell them anything, because what? Darrell Vaz said we are dunce. We are not going to understand what you are saying. So explain to us, when did Juliet Onus, when did the Parliament receive this report? For March 30, 2026. And I know it has not been tabled. And let me ask you a question. Was the Juliet Onus discipline Angela Brown-Brock as it relates to touching the mace? So then a dictatorship. Clear dictatorship. You people don't respect and regard laws. When you try to break and rape the Constitution, right? And conveniently break the laws. Because guess what? A government badness unwa deal with. Government badness unwa deal with. Are we alone allowed to break the law? We break it anytime we want to break it, and no guy no talk. And that I get from Unu. That is what I am getting from you people. This is a clear breach. You have gotten a report from March 30th, 2026, and you sit and suppress it. And even as we speak, it has not been tabled. What in that report that is so affecting the administration that you hold it? This goes to the high level of corruption that we are talking about. The high level. Every ministries as it relates to Andrew Onus. Billions of dollars unaccounted for. And you're coming out with acronyms and promises, acronyms of failures. None of the programs that you have implemented, you understand? No one has gotten any benefit from any program that you have implemented. And you're coming out with acronyms of promises and, you're so toxic. And this is it. Now, let me bring Melting Pot in as it relates to what we are hearing here. This is very serious to know that it was just a week or 2 weeks ago that Juliet Onus stand with a rod of correction over Angela Brownberg, and yet now we found you doing this. The world, I want you to listen. I want you to see this. The world, the international media see this and look at the hypocrisy and the high level of criminality with Andrew Onus administration. Now, Melting Pot, let me just bring you in and for you to chat a few because we have a big program tonight. Blessings, Melting Pot. Go ahead.
Well, from the very first time Juliet Wallace was appointed to be the Speaker of the House, we know her position was only there to be a disruptor. You understand? A suppressor. Because it cannot be that report been submitted, yeah, to the Speaker of the House, but it cannot be tabled. Yeah, them don't want to bring it forward for it to be discussed in the Parliament. And I mean, Firearm License Association, you know, yeah, FLA. We know some guy did they are going with some corruption thing, you know. Yeah. Them did I use the FLA as a trading authority to them friend and giving them friend gun license and collecting lots of money. We know about that. Yeah. And we know say something very damaging is in that report why they can't bring it forward. They don't want to bring it forward for discussion. Yeah, because it will highlight a lot of people and a lot of variances, you know. A lot of money. People benefit. Yeah. People benefit. Because them throw a little criminal guy in the hot seat. Yeah. For steal up there. Scrappy. Yeah. Them throw him in there for steal. So it's a corruption empire unto them create. You understand? And that is why we know them people cannot, you know, give no directive order to no member of parliament. Yeah, as it relates to obey and all these things and respect and all these things. Because them, you know, not have nothing of any sort as it relates to respect and obey. We know that them use the House of Representatives, yeah, as a element where them all on pan to destroy Jamaica. Now when you hear Floyd Green talk about it has nothing to do with democracy. Yeah, because his government don't destroy democracy. Of course, his government destroy democracy. Him fall in that category. Democracy, yeah, is something that every citizen, yeah, should obey the law of the country. We saw where him break that in a COVID-19, no movement there, yeah. I remember nothing happened to him while other people who just go look something to eat because them have diabetes end up paying over 700,000 Jamaican dollars. Yeah, for breaking curfew and all these things. So we know him have to come out and talk bias in regard to him administration where he belongs to. Yeah? Him have to come up for them, you know. Because everybody, locally and internationally, see the state of affairs in Jamaica said there is no law and order as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party administration. Them break everything because them a badness government, you know. Them a criminal, white collar criminal, the whole of them is, you know. Yeah? And because them founder in a modern time was a Dan, Edward Seaga, this little garbage one here come and play a bigger than Eddie. Yeah? Because brothers think Eddie never thief left, right, and center, you know. No. But this man here, Andrew, the crime minister, him thief left, right, and center. And the difference between him and Eddie, Eddie alone used to run the thing like that. Him and him come along, them a run it. So, and one of them a thief Jamaica, you know, the whole of them. From Vaz and the head buckle washer, Tough Tongue and the whole of them are criminal. And them owe Jamaican a lot of money, the taxpayers. You understand? So we are look on a system where this guy and him big size 14-foot wife, them are going with. Yeah? Is that them try to suppress anything coming from the People's National Party as an opposition, anything where them submit to the speaker, you know, I hear it mentioned. No, when you look from the 30th of March, 2026 till now, and you can bring forward a document that the opposition
wrong in terms of highlighting some of what the people have said. I want to feel important.
You would have to do that. In a real democracy, it must have a time limit that when a document is being submitted from the opposition, it will be mentioned within a certain time frame. It can't be that size 14 of our big old dirty crusty foot on top of the documents. Yeah? Because she had been doing it for a mighty long time, you know. When them have the 2/3 majority are the same way. Yeah? Now them don't have a 2/3 majority, them feel like them want, cause I watch them from a day, you know. Like them want to slowly integrate certain dirty policy back. Yeah? No, we need when a document is being submitted, it must have a time frame that it's supposed to take to reach into the House of Parliament for mentioning. And I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
All right. Blessing for that melting pot. Now, Jamaica, I just, wanted for you to just see some reflection out of the Parliament. But we are going to leave that now, and we are going to go into some very serious issues as it relates to what had transpired in terms of a number 3 that we have seen. But before we get into that, we have to identify the evil that we face. Our people have been treated with disregard. And when our policemen and women start to turn the guns on our ladies, seriously, we have to respond. But let me just take a call before I go into the meat of the matter, because this is very serious and we're going to address it tonight. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
Hey, my brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I just had to chime in and and comment.
Yes.
Yes. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear. You're good.
Yes. So I listened to you and I listened to Melting Pot, and what you guys are saying is the very reason why Julia Tolis is not. She's not qualified to be member of parliament, nor is she qualified to be in the position she is. She's not academically or morally qualified. And when you have a husband and wife leadership of a country, this is the kind of criminality and the kind of disrespect that the Jamaican people will get in the governance of their country. We have seen where she has time and time again suppressed information.
Yes.
We have seen where she disrespect the leader of the opposition. She's disrespect member of parliament who is duly elected by the people. She's disrespect the entire decor of the leadership as a speaker of the house. And it is very, very sad to see the kind of suppression and disrespect that is being displayed by her as a leader of the house. We've not only seen not only the disrespect, but the corruption in her using her position to benefit her own self in terms of land and in terms of wealth. And this is what we get when we have this kind of husband and wife leadership. The last country to have this kind of leadership was Haiti. Husband and wife leadership. And Jamaica's finding itself in the same position. They said that you take a pig out of the pigsty and dress it up, it is still a pig. Juliet Holness' background is Spanish Town Market. She was a higgler along with her mother in Spanish Town Market. And she has now successfully turned the Jamaica Parliament into Spanish Town Market. She runs the leadership of the house just like she's running a mother stall from Spanish Town Market, and it's disrespectful and it's disgraceful to the country itself. And she needs to be removed, because you cannot be suppressing vital information that will expose members of parliament, including your husband, for their corruption. And this must stop, my brother. It can't. The country can't run so. Nothing can go so. Another thing I want to address, Mystic, is as a Jamaican, I'm very concerned with the extrajudicial killing, the unlawful killing of young Jamaicans by the police force in Jamaica. It is alarming. And this is not PNP and it's not JLP. This is lives, people lives that are being taken indiscriminately by police. One of the things that I noticed that I've seen from time and time, whenever the Prime Minister have an opportunity to address crime or address any incident in the country, one thing that he keeps reflecting and keep uttering out of his mouth to the Jamaican people is that he's going to send them to meet his maker. Now, the last time I checked, a person's innocent until proven guilty. Is that still upheld in Jamaica? Jamaica is a country of rule, of law and order. Is that still upheld? We have a judicial system. Is that still in place? We have a system where a person is innocent until proven guilty. And we've never heard the Prime Minister come out and advocate for the judicial system, advocate for law and order, advocate for the people to be disciplined, and for proper investigation and hold people accountable based on the judicial system and the laws that governs the country. The only thing the Prime Minister can consistently say to the Jamaica people is that he'll send them to meet their maker. But the Prime Minister, let me tell you, I hope that you have a long-lasting life because I want to see you prosecuted. But we all going to meet our maker at some point in time. As a leader, these things transcend into society. Jamaica is one of the most violent places in the Caribbean. Our people are systematically and socially violent against each other. And if I'm the leader of the country, every opportunity he gets to address criminal behavior or address a criminal issue is to threaten to send people to meet their maker. That transcends into the young people, it transcends into society. It tells people that's the only way you can get justice and the only way you can resolve things is by inflicting harm or killing someone. And that is why these are some of the reasons why our murder rate is so high. These are some of the reasons why the police just kill people indiscriminately. This is one of the reasons why we're so vile against each other in our country. It's because the leadership itself doesn't speak of humanity, doesn't speak of law and order, does not do anything to highlight and elevate unity within the country. It only speaks of sending people to meet their maker. And the Prime Minister must take responsibility and stop these kind of rhetoric from being preached throughout the country. And people sit there and applaud him when he says this kind of nonsense. And this is why now we have a police force that kill first and lie after. Kill first and then lie after it. This is a bad system. We have lost so many young people. And the irony of this Mystic is that the same government who's killing the young men and the young women is telling the Jamaican people that the population need to multiply and they're going to import people because they don't have enough people. Isn't this convoluted?
Exactly.
Isn't this stupid? And isn't this just convoluted? So what is the end game here? What is the goal and the end game? Is it to execute our young people, our young mothers and our young fathers, and import people? Is that the end game here? Or is the end game to execute our young men and young women so that they can reap to benefit themselves? What is the end game for killing our young people? We see young mothers are dying. We're seeing 17-year-old young men are being killed every day, every single day in Jamaica by police force. And if it's not the police, it's the politician with their drug dealings or the businessman paying murder for hire for land and business rights. I mean, my God, when is this going to stop in our country? And then we're saying that our population is decreasing.
Well said,
We
Carl.
can't have it both ways. It cannot be both ways. And the Prime Minister must take responsibility for these killings in the country. The Prime Minister must change his rhetoric and stop telling people the only way to solve crime is to send them to meet their maker. You cannot fight crime with crime. It never works, and it will never work. You only create a violent society that believes that the only way to resolve stuff is to kill the other person. My brother, I rest my case and I listen to the rest of your show.
Blessings, blessings. It's so ironic that the Prime Minister, and I will not hesitate to say it, is one of the biggest criminal in Jamaica. And he wants to reduce crime while himself creating crime and increasing corruption. Prime Minister is one of the biggest criminal in Jamaica. He should just put the handcuff on his own hands and just walk into prison, because him leads in corruption and criminality. And that's a plain fact. Who want to defend it, defend it. Now, let me speak to the soul of Jamaica as it relates to the extrajudicial killing. And I'm going to have my pastor speak to them and speak to the soul of what is wrong. Now, listen to this clip, my Jamaican people, because we are going to touch the nerve center tonight.
Before we write off them boys, we say them done dead already, and support Mr. Holness and the commissioner in killing them with impunity. The amount of poor people picnic that has died in the last 2 years without trial. Police becomes the judge, the jury, and the executioner. And the reading in Isaiah this morning, you know, a line that just struck me again. All of this happened and nobody protested. The innocent killing in Isaiah that took place led him like a lamb to the slaughter. Kill the innocent. Isaiah said all of this took place and nobody protested. Where is the church? Where is the church that has come to declare life? Religion sometimes is used to deny access to the majority, access to life. What we see operating is a deliberate attempt to deny access to life, because all of these veils are set up as life-denying implements. And I keep saying before we write off them boys, we say them done dead already, and support Mr. Holness and the commissioner in killing them with impunity. The amount of poor people picnic that has died in the last 2 years without trial. Police becomes the judge, the jury, and the executioner. And the reading in Isaiah this morning, you know, a line that just struck me again. All of this happened and nobody protested. The innocent killing in Isaiah that took place led him like a lamb to the slaughter, killed the innocent. Isaiah said all of this took place and nobody protested.
So we on it.
Where is the church? Where is the church?
Where is the church? All of this happened and no one protested. Well, let me play another clip, right, and get into the belly of the situation. Now listen to this.
Let me make this clear, because the police have basically been given permission from the top of the government to resort to this kind of action. And I maintain long time ago that the Jamaica police have operated with this level of impunity because of that permission, right? The first major signal for all of this came when the Prime Minister made his famous Meet Your Maker declaration. It was rhetoric that may have resonated, politically with frightened citizens who were exhausted by crime. But that kind of rhetoric simultaneously communicated something dangerous to armed state agents, that uncompromising and deadly responses would not only be tolerated, but publicly applauded. And so that, now again, let me make this clear, because the police have basically been given permission from the top of the government to resort to this kind of action. And I maintain long time ago that the Jamaica police have operated with this level of impunity because of that permission, right? The first major signal for all of this came when the Prime Minister made his famous Meet Your Maker declaration. It was rhetoric that may have resonated, politically with frightened citizens who were exhausted by crime. But that kind of rhetoric simultaneously communicated something dangerous to armed state agents, that uncompromising and deadly responses would not only be tolerated, but publicly applauded. And so that, now again, let me make this clear.
So we are going to get into the detail of what happened, and we are going to look as it relates to what transpired, and we are going to discuss that. Let us play this footage of what transpired. Let us get into what transpired. It's very serious, Jamaica. Look at this.
Extensive coverage, including on Jamaica News page tonight.
I don't know where to start.
Outrage in Granville, St. James after a woman was shot and killed by police We have extensive coverage, including reactions from residents on the scene.
Where Angie Holness there? Angie Holness, put up a Sunday dinner and come. Come like scandal, but come no.
Comments from Member of Parliament Marlene Malahu Ford.
What has happened today is not right. No.
And the latest update from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Welcome back to Jamaica News Page tonight, news that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica, and we're powered by viewers just like you. Please click subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay connected. Thank you for joining us, Richard Brown. Jamaica News Page tonight starts right now. We begin tonight with developing news out of St. James, where outrage is intensifying following the fatal police shooting of a woman on Sunday. The incident was caught on CCTV footage. Now, while we have removed any graphic content from the CCTV footage to comply with YouTube's community guidelines, the video may still be tough to watch for some viewers.
All right,
the woman has been identified as Latoya Bulgin. Otherwise,
I want people to pay close attention to what transpired, because we are going to break it down. And a former certified detective forensic send some information, and I'm going to show Jamaica what the former certified detective forensic, right, spoke about this case. But before I get there, I want to show, because what they are building up a defense to say that the victim want to attack the police with the moving vehicle. We are going to debunk that tonight, because that police has to be sentenced, and we are going to convict that police tonight. What am I going to show? I am going to show a worst case situation, worse than that, in the United States, and look in terms of what that police had done. Did the police shoot the person because the person moved that vehicle? Look at this. Pay attention to this, Jamaica. Pay attention to this.
The car! Stop the car! Stop the fucking car! Stop the fucking car! Stop the fucking car! Stop it! Stop the car! Put on the fucking brakes! Put on the brakes! Stop the fucking car! Stop the fucking car, man!
All right, stop that. Why Mystic Sensation is showing that video? Why Mystic Sensation is showing that video? That the police exercise all the caution in terms of preserving life. that situation is worse than the situation in Jamaica. And I'm going to break in bubbles. You can't, because myself was a police officer, and I'm going to have an expert detective. You can't claim that the victim was going to use the vehicle to commit harm. Let me tell you the position where you fire from. You fire from what we call a diagonal position. Simple means that the victim was turning the vehicle away from you. So any big mama, Draws Davis, NNN, or anyone who want to have that as a defense tonight, Mystic Sensation is going to debunk that. This is the reason why we show the closed caption clip that the victim was moving away from the police officer. The police officer fired from a diagonal position. Simple means you're totally out of danger. And you fired from a diagonal position. So you were not in any danger. As it relates to your line of defense, saying that your life was in danger, it's clear as daylight that your life was not in danger. We have evidence. We have evidence that the victim was targeted. We have evidence that that team of police officers went specifically for her and executed because she was about to involve in a demonstration, a protest against the killing of a 17-year-old. We have all the evidence. So any evidence that any sort of protection that any police is trying to give you, we are debunking that tonight. You must go to prison. We show clearly, which is going to be established in the court, that the vehicle, you were in front of the vehicle. And when the driver engaged, which is the victim, she turned to the right, moving away from you. And so then you fired from a diagonal position. Simple means you were not in danger. Now, I am going to show Jamaica as it relates to senior member of the police force who sent. And one of the reasons why I'm going to put it up, because I don't want people to believe that, okay, all right, Mystic Sensation is making up something, right? I am going to show that it was sent to me by senior police officers. Senior police officers. And this is what they are saying. So put up that on it. And I'm going to read from my phone because it is long. And let me say to you, right, I just want to have this there to say that it was sent to me. Here it is forwarded, right, as a farmer certified. So let me read from my phone because everything is on my phone. I just take that to show the evidence that it was sent to me. Now let me read. So Mr. Officer, anywhere you are, I want you to listen to this. And all of them who try to plan, right? And all of them who try to build a story as it relates to the number 3 that you have executed. That story cannot be built. Mystic Sensation is going to break it down tonight and put it to pieces. Now let me read. As a former certified detective forensic crime scene investigator who was assigned to the technical services branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, I am deeply concerned and troubled by what I saw circulating online, where a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force fatally shot and killed a woman in the tourist capital of Montego Bay, Jamaica. I did an analysis of the video evidence and chose to share my findings publicly. Without prejudice, and note A, forensic crime scene detective is an expert witness in the courts of law in Jamaica. The language is in keeping with my training and experience in investigating homicide scenes, inclusive of suspected suicides and police fatal incident. Let us go through, right, forensic analysis and expert witness report, critical investigative deconstruction of the Granville Road extrajudicial execution, date May 18, 2026, prepared by former forensic crime scene investigator detective. Let us go through the detail. As I said, you will not see the points that he made. I have the points on my phone. I just want to show the evidence. Point number one, the mechanics of premeditation and manufactured jeopardy. The video evidence completely invalidates any claim of a self-defense or justifiable use of lethal force by the state actors involved, which is the police officer. From a tactical and forensic standpoint, this incident was not a fluid, high-risk traffic enforcement stop. It was a coordinated tactical entrapment designed to produce a fatal outcome. The police successfully cleared the vehicle of all passengers, which we had seen that. We have the evidence. Completely isolating the female driver. This demonstrates that the officers possess total control over the immediate human landscape prior to application of lethal force. As the vehicle attempts to navigate away, as I mentioned, let me reread that over. As the vehicle attempts to navigate away, an officer deliberately maneuvers his body directly into its path. And actually, in forensic pathology and accident reconstruction, this specific maneuver is classified as the intentional manufacturing of a deadly threat. This is a calculated tactical fraud. Standard police doctrine dictates that you do not step in front of a moving vehicle to stop it. You step away to preserve life and maintain a tactical advantage. Stepping onto the vehicle's line of travel is a deliberate act of provocation designed to engineer a fraudulent legal defense of fearing for one's life to justify deploying deadly force which you had done. But we have seen you fired from a diagonal angle. This is a premeditated staging of the necessity to commit murder. Number two, the forensic realities of murder and tactical execution. The discharge of a firearm into the cabin of that vehicle cannot be characterized under any legal framework as justifiable action. The weapon was fired at point-blank range into an enclosed cabin containing a trap target, which is the victim. The driver posed no immediate asymmetrical threat of deadly force to the perimeter that was not actively manufactured by the officer's own positioning. When a trained state actor intentionally creates a hazard. Let me talk to you, officer, because you believe you're going to get to it. Mystic sensation and make sure you go to prison. Remember me telling you that. Now, when a strange state actor intentionally creates a hazard, refuses all de-escalation protocols, blocks avenues of escape, and deploys lethal force directly into an enclosed vehicle cabin, the forensic conclusion is singular, definitive, and absolute murder. Murder. Number 3, institutionalize desecration and systemic failure of medical protocol. The handling of the victim immediately following the shooting represent a grotesque, systemic breach of medical, legal, and humanitarian protocol. It is the brazen, wanton signature of an unchecked security force operating with total contempt for human life and legal accountability. State actors have no legal authority to pronounce death at a scene. You are not judge, jury, and executioner. Yet, the victim was dragged like dead weight from the driver's side, hoisted into the air, and thrown into the bed of a pickup truck. Forcing a human being's body into a metal cargo bed and violently slamming the tailgate against her torso in full view of civilian, women, and children constitute an act of state terror. State terror. Furthermore, this represents a deliberate deprivation of medical care. Fairfield Hospital was approximately 7 minutes away, and Cornwall Regional was under 20 minutes away. No ambulance was summoned, and no trauma triage was attempted. Bypassing emergency medical services and dumping the body into a truck bed, the officers guaranteed that if the victim possessed even a fraction of a % chance of survival, it was permanently extinguished. Immediate spoliation of evidence and crime scene tampering. The absolute proof of criminal consciousness occurs within seconds of the execution. An officer is captured on camera immediately breaching and entering the driver's side of the vehicle. From a forensic crime scene perspective, this is the most damning behavior captured on tape. The vehicle is the primary crime scene. The weapons, the trajectory of the bullets, the biological evidence, and the interior content must remain completely undisturbed until independent forensic investigators seal the perimeter and document the state of the scene. That is what we call crime scene management. The immediate entry into the vehicle by a compromised state actor destroys the chain of custody instantly. This split-second breach was executed to control the narrative, alter the physical landscape of the cabin, or plant evidence. Any subsequent claim by the state that a weapon or contraband was discovered inside this vehicle is forensically invalid. The scene was corrupted by the perpetrators themselves before the blood was cold, and we all witnessed that on video. Analytical conclusion and demand for immediate criminal prosecution. This video does not require interpretation. It requires an immediate indictment. It stands as an undeniable objective recording of murder in plain sight. The flagrant disregard of forensic integrity. The casual dumping of a human bodies into cargo beds. And the total absence of operational restraint are the direct structural results of political rhetoric that both Crab and Andrew Holness had spoken about, that they will meet their maker. When the executive leadership of a nation publicly proclaims that citizens will meet their maker, street-level forces translate that directive into summary executions. Jamaica has officially collapsed into a police state, directed by an authoritarian regime where the uniform is utilized as a license to slaughter, based strictly on the visual evidence, the broken chain of custody, the manufactured justification, and the deliberate denial of medical care. The forensic conclusion is absolute. The officer who fired the fatal shot, along with every accomplice who aided in the immediate contamination of the vehicle and the desecration of the victim's body, must be immediately arrested and charged with murder. We speak as it relates to Nikisha Burchell, Zulika Jess, Indicom, CVM Television, TVJ, Amnesty International, Office of the Prime Minister, the Bahamas, UK Prime Minister, Mark Carney official. We are speaking to you tonight. A plain murder that took place, that everyone witnessed as it relates to the contamination of the crime scene, the fabrication of a defense, while we all witness that the vehicle was moving away from the police officer. The police officer fired from a diagonal position. Number 3, one of our women of society, Andrew Holness administration, Oristron, is on a slow process to ensure genocide amongst the Israelites, the real Israelites. The training of the police force by Israel, and Israel who created the spyware to rob our election. Israel who training our so-called police force, who killing Palestine from left to right, executing the mayhem, the crisis in Jamaica. Andrew Holness, Satan in personification. I asked Melting Pot to say his piece. Pot.
Well, Sir Byron, boy, this thing moved me, you know. You know, for on a Sunday evening, you know, one of the peacefulest days of the week, Jamaican criminal police, men and women, would carry out such a heinous act against a citizen. I mean, we all know this was a premeditated, you know, attack on this woman by the state. simply because she have information in regards to her cousin, a family member, which was brutally murdered the previous Sunday. And this particular individual police officer had a personal vendetta against the victim. And as such, this was a planned operation. Yeah, and they use all type of various, accusation as it relates to she being operating illegal transport of passenger. Now, as far as, knowledgeable information that I have received is that all who were in the vehicle were close friends and family members that she was transporting to a demonstration. Now, the police, assumable, they are aware of her motive of protesting. And so what they did, they corral the vehicle. And, they asked all the other passengers to disembark. And by clearing the vehicle, when that was successfully achieved, and the driver of the vehicle in question became the sole passenger in the vehicle, that's when this gunman, this terrorist, he's not a policeman, decided to strike a fatal bullet to the torso of the individual. Now, when you look at it, and the whole scene of event, then this is why I know the government in charge of Jamaica and the commissioner in charge of police and the Minister of National Security and Deputy Prime Minister, they all must resign their posts. Because the high level of these type of activity is leaving a lot of Jamaica in trauma. The medical side and the mental side of Jamaican is being destroyed by the state led by Andrew Wallace. Because a lot of people at that particular scene, who witness the fatal killing of Buju, is left in eye shock and a state of trauma. And they are not taking into consideration the ramification of such action being demonstrated in the present of citizens, young and old. Because this is an uncaring government we have in Jamaica. And when I say uncaring, they have no care at all for the common people, the citizens of Jamaica. Because when a crime minister can use rhetoric like Meet Your Maker to returning resident who have been working and sending money into the same country that he is the leader of, it tell you the state of affair. Yeah, it tell you the state of affair. When a all nasty Chinese descendant crab will find himself in a Montego Bay for donkey years and kill out the people them down at Granville and surrounding, can use the term to the policemen that they should shoot and don't bother to carry them to hospital to waste state resource. That was the exact word coming from the nasty thinking dirty crab. The old Chinese descendant, Bakramasa, where Jamaican people hung up for decades down in a Montego Bay. We have him gang, where a lot of youth man who join that gang end up losing them life because of activity that they were entrusted with by this criminal. This criminal will have a masquerade as National Security Minister and Deputy Prime Minister. Now, I know for a fact, that based on evidence, these men are corrupted, evil, crime activists. So the lie that they want to project that this female individual driving this vehicle made remarks threat of running the vehicle over them is unfounded. Because when you look at the video, it shows you definitely that she did not want or intend or said that she was going to run her vehicle over him. Or else she would have run it over him because he wasn't anywhere in terms of a distance from her. When you watch the slow trajectory of the movement of the vehicle, yeah, that turned to the right, the left wheel was turning away from him. The speed also clearly indicate that there was no intention of what the police is trying to report. And what we know is trying to do is trying to create an alibi for his action. But there is no alibi as it relates to what we are witnessing in the video footage. Yeah? And all the rest of police, men and women, are, you know, found in breach of their role of responsibility. Because that scene did not warrant a fatal bullet. Yeah? At first, you could see where the driver, the now deceased, came out of the vehicle and had a brief conversation or dialogue with the said policeman in question, as if he was the one leading the operation. Yeah? There was no other member of the police force that intervened verbally with the driver. Yeah? And if you notice, the rest of them move away and you know, give more space to the vehicle. But he remained very permanently fixed to the vehicle. And you could see that it was one of them state killing when now we are only seeing gunshot going through windscreen, targeting the driver. And so that one fatal bullet, if you look back on the video, as the wheel turned, the gunshot fire. As the wheel turned and the vehicle slightly make a projected movement, not towards him, you know, but away from him. As Byron rightfully said, he was standing in a diagonal position, not in front of the vehicle. And immediately, she got a fatal bullet. Yeah? But what is so demoralizing and depressing was the course of action that took place after the female was shot. She was dragged from her vehicle, which is a high-up vehicle, not a low flatbed vehicle, and she was dragged like animal in the street. And I am saying to my Jamaican people, because I've been noticing this type of behavior pattern, that this administration is treating every single Jamaican like animal. No regard for people's life. No regard for how you know, lend support to a victim. Okay. This woman was dragged, and she was dragged from her vehicle onto the asphalt, lift up from the asphalt and tossed into a metal van. Under no circumstance could she have survived, because she was killed not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I've seen in the comment where she probably died a 4th time because she fell out of the van. She fell out of the garbage truck where Andrew have move people when you have road fatality and when you have state killing. And the garbage truck, the old nasty dirty police vehicle, them are put with citizen in. And we have to say right now, this not look good enough. But me have one thing to say to Montego Bay people. A time when you get rid of the nasty dirty crab. At time Jamaica get rid of Andrew Wallace, but we are get rid of him this year, you know. And at time this nasty thinking dirty commissioner resign because I'm politically aligned. Jamaica does not have an independent individual serving as commissioner. We have a politician serving as commissioner. We have an extension of Owen Ellington. Yeah, and we know who them is. Them greener than morass. So Jamaica is not benefiting from a commissioner that is in charge independently of a police force. Yeah, a politics are run everything in a Jamaica. And it can't be like that. It cannot be. And this is why going forward, we're going to have a different process of who and how we select commissioner. A commissioner don't have to be aligned to a political party. Yeah? We can find people. If we have to go outside of Jamaica, yeah, we have to do that to rectify this problem we have. Where the commissioner is working for the government of the day. And when the government of the day use rhetoric remarks like meet Jamaica and shoot and don't carry them in, we have problem with that. Yeah? So, as Sir Byron rightfully read out that, message that was sent to him by a senior detective of crime scene. Yeah? We endorse that. And I mean, we know that all along. Yeah? That in Jamaica, crime scene has always been tampered with before the proper forensic people come on the scene. That crime scene was tampered with immediately. Immediately, the crime scene was tampered with. And you cannot have policeman now pronouncing people to be dead. That's not his job. It must be done by a doctor. Yeah, and it must be done by a reputable trained doctor. So we're having problem, but this problem exists long ago, Yeah, and I mean, this is something we have to tackle, But me and Byron and the rest of people on the platform, we voice our opinion, we show footage, and we make remarks. Yeah, but we can't be the people who do the protests. We cannot. And Jamaican people have to start to protest this type of behavior by the state. This type of behavior will not be accepted or tolerated anymore. It has to come to an end. Because we cannot, as a nation, continue along this slippery slope of murdering our people, wasting a lot of investment. When you grow a child through educational system, you know how much money that takes? That is investment that should come and, repay to the state, to the nation. But what we do in a Jamaica, we kill the young ones. Yeah, we kill them out because it seems like under this administration, there's a secret genocide going on. Why are we having Israeli people in our country training security members? Why? How much here Jamaica in existence? How many previous prime minister administrate but did not seek outside intervention as it relates to training policemen in Jamaica? Only this criminal who win over Israel and modify Israel police come change the proper police uniform and put them in a denim and give them directive order to kill. This has to stop, and the crime minister must be held responsible because we hear it all time out. The deputy crime minister, Crab, him also must be held responsible for these actions by the policeman. No commissioner must be held responsible as well. And he must leave his job. We cannot have a commissioner sitting in the chair collecting taxpayers' money but giving directive order to security men to shoot and kill. But every beginning have an ending. And I hope Buju incident will be the end of extrajudicial killing in Jamaica, because I can't take no more of this scene, you know. It a traumatized me. When me look and see how the person last moment on earth was captured. That was Buju last moment. Everybody see it. We see Ramaro Sterling last moment. We see Jabbar Farkis last moment. We see Bigger Dan. We see the youth up at St. Thomas, and we see many more. I am not here to witness people last moment. Because when this is happening, it tells us that we have a callous society. A society of evil. A society of wickedness. And a society that has no compassion for fellow human life. And in that regard, I am saying enough is enough. And I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
All right, Melting Pot. Well said. Let me just use the time in calling Bolo, because Bolo want to participate as well. Yes, Bolo.
Yeah, man, just quickly, man, because we know the thing going.
Yes.
Never want to disturb me.
Melting Pot.
The man up on a roll and the man I hit every nail on the head.
All right.
But I want to think more of a point out. You see this conversation about the situation, it is a national conversation. Everywhere me turn in my community, people are talking about it.
Yes.
Believe me when me tell you, I have never seen anything like this and I'm happy. I'm going to say big up to the free press.
Exactly.
About man like you and others, we highlight the thing. Big up to the free press to highlight this conversation. But you see, I think in the video I'm going to point out.
Yes.
If you don't notice before the lady drive off, the man pint on the lady, you know.
Yes.
I don't know him say, but him pint on her. And when him pint on her, the lady turn with the bus and the man pull him gun immediately. Not even 1 point, nothing second, less than a second. The man reaching firearm and shoot. That man definitely, in my opinion, went to analyze that lady.
No two way about it.
100%.
No two way about
You
it.
see me? I don't know if you look back on the video and you can see it. But if you look and you can see him pint on her like so and say something.
Yes.
And you could have see the brake light on the bus.
Yes.
And as she turn away from him, he pull him weapon. Quick. In a less than a second and out the lady life.
But
the narrative over the boss says she's a criminal and all of this. And I am saying I do not care. There is something called the right to life in the Constitution.
Yes.
And if the police is going to operate like criminals, they're no better than the criminals.
Yes.
Simple as blurting out that some people are saying she's a labor right. It's still no business.
Exactly. No business.
It's all about the law, upholding the law and democracy and the Constitution. That is it.
Yes. And I do agree with you, Bolo, right? Because when I look at it in terms of the vehicle, turning to the right. Now let me say something to you, Bolo. You're talking about mens rea in law, which means intent. And you talk about actus reus in law, which means the action. Now, so what was the intent of the driver, prior to her being shot? If you notice, the vehicle turned right, moving away from the police officer.
That's right.
Now, if you look, when the police officer pulled his weapon and that vehicle turning right, it put the police position into what we call a diagonal position. Simply means the police to the left, slightly left, and the vehicle turning right. What was the intent? The intent that is going to establish in law or establish in court is that the vehicle was moving away. Now, The vehicle did not turn left inward to the police. I am going to play the video again, and I want the world to watch it.
Yes.
The wheel turned right. But if you play the video again, I want the people to see it. Well, on the bolus, just stay right there, so. I want the world to see that the vehicle turned right. Simple means the intent cannot be that she was going to use the vehicle and overrun the police. So we are debunking that. We want people to look at it. Look at it, Jamaica. The vehicle turned right, swerve right.
On Jamaica News page tonight.
Okay. There it is. Pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. Let us
right now on Jamaica News page
right
tonight.
The right position. There's the police. The vehicle turning right. Bowler, you see that? Yeah. So any defense, Bowler, any defense that this piece of murderer want to use, we debunk it tonight. Bless up yourself, Bowler. Let me take this call.
Every time.
Blessings. Yes, caller, go ahead. Yes, my brother.
I want to make one point.
Talk, my brother.
We have over 3 million people living in the diaspora today. Expatriates living in the diaspora. And we can make a difference within our country. We have more people living outside of Jamaica than Jamaicans living outside of Jamaica than living in Jamaica. And we, as Jamaicans, all we have to do, is every Jamaican who are concerned put pen to paper, send letters to NGOs, international NGOs, Amnesty International, Human Rights Group, UN International, UN International Dog Watch for Human Rights, Injustice. We can send letters to these groups, to these organizations, all these NGOs. And if enough Jamaicans living outside of Jamaica, I'm not talking 100 or 200, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 Jamaicans that are sending writing letters, or carefully worded letters with their concern, with the facts and the data, these organizations, we can get international eyes and international media to pay attention to these criminal and systematic genocide of our young men and young women by this government. We can't just sit back and just rely on melting pot, rely on Radican, rely on Wayne. So we can't.
You're coming a little bit choppy. I don't know what. Hold on, caller. Hold on, caller. Caller, hold on.
Start mobilizing and start putting pen to paper. Another thing that we can do here, Mr. We can write to our local Congress and state Congress representative, voicing our concerns.
Yes.
These things we can send to the media, because they can't just go where the international media come to Jamaica, take pictures of our food, our mountains, our beautiful beaches, and then while they're filming that, we have our young men and young women going through systematic genocide. It can't just be that way. We here in the diaspora must get off our butts, put pen to paper, write to these NGOs, and try the international light to be shining in Jamaica. Atrocities in our country, it happens all over the world. We see all the atrocities in other countries all over the world, but all we're seeing from Jamaica is simply mountain, beautiful beaches and food, while there's genocide taking place. We have to mobilize. It's not going to take one or two. It take hundreds of thousands of us. Just a simple, right, carefully worded letter, with the facts and the dates of these atrocities and send it to these NGOs, Amnesty International, UNIT, the UN, all of these people, all of these groups, and reach out to your local media so we can start to get international eyes on this. We want to save our country, save our young people for the future of our country.
All right. All right, Carla. Well said. Appreciate it. All right.
Respect.
Blessings. All right. So,
Sir Byron.
Yes.
Because just one more thing quickly.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. The commissioner, I know. The people in Jamaica for ask him resignation like now, you know. Because you hear film speech where he make is that it's like the youth them in Jamaica or the citizens them in Jamaica because woman involved. Yeah. They are idiot to challenge his superior force. That's the word coming out and nasty thinking Google to mouth, you know. So the citizen is stupid to challenge a superior force. That mean we know what force mean, you know. Okay. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
All right. So we're going to get into a situation where it is quite pending, and trust me, it is going to be relieved for a lot of us. I don't want to joke about the Paul Buchanan case, because this is a case that coming next month, every Jamaican has their eyes, has his or her eyes on this Paul Buchanan case. Let us go to this situation relating to Paul Buchanan. Right, we are going to go through that for a while because, of course, we want Paul Buchanan to have the victory, and everything that I'm seeing here, that Paul Buchanan is going to have the victory where that is concerned. Right? So, and it is important. This goes to show you, as it relates to, the level of criminality with the Prime Minister. It's a vicious thing to rob the Jamaican people, defranchising the Jamaican people over not able to choose their political leader.
Extremely shocked to see the way this matter has been dealt with.
Attorney at law Hugh Wildman on the Supreme Court ruling involving his client, the PNP's Paul Buchanan. Mr. Buchanan lost the West Central St. Andrews seat to Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness in the September 3 general election. Mr. Buchanan's legal team insists there were several breaches, but in September, the constituted authority refused an application to void the poll results. The matter was then taken to the Supreme Court. In Monday's ruling, Justice Sonia Wint-Blair said the court could not extend the time set down in laws governing elections. But for Mr. Wildman,
nobody's asking the court to do that. The law is clear. Time does not run against a nullity. If something is a nullity, it means that it never occurred. It is void ab initio. So if the matter had progressed as we had hoped it to progress to the election trial and to void it, and they made that announcement that the election is void, then time started to run from that time. So I don't understand how the court could have come to this conclusion.
The ruling also stated that the period during which the authority could have applied to the election court has passed, and any application is statute barred. In addition, the time frame outlined in the law is a knockout blow to the success of the application.
Can't be out of time. Within 9 days after the constituted authority rule not to send it to the election court, he filed an application for leave for judicial review. He came to me and I filed it. The law says he has 14 days to go to the constituted authority and he went there in 9 days.
So right here, my Jamaican people, when you have a corrupted judge that deliberately misinterpreting the process, right, telling lies that Paul Buchanan filed late, known to the fact that she had lied. And this is what we are saying as it relates to the love for money, the root of all evil. So you know that this particular judge definitely into Andrew Holness' pocket. But guess what? She can't stop the victory. Let us play on.
Still, the court stated that it's futile to compel the authority to make an application and there is a need for finality in electoral matters. The court said the threshold test has not been surmounted and the application was not arguable. The constituted authority is an independent public body which decides whether a flawed election should be sent to the election court, which could void results. Mr. Buchanan has outlined several breaches, including double voting.
That person having voted, drop it in the box, come back for another ballot and say that ballot spoiled. I was given another ballot to go and vote by the presiding officer. These are serious breaches. We have examples where she's, you have, that is a key one. Key one is where they are to leave the polling station because mass men jumping over fence in schemas taking over the polling station. You know? The issue here is, which the court should have focused on, are the breaches that were placed before the court sufficient to compel the court to have the constituted authority refer the matter to the election court? Because once you go there, we know the election will be voided. So the questions have not been determined up to now in this judgment. We are extremely shocked to see the way this matter has been dealt with.
Attorney at law,
yes, we are going to play something that you understand exclusively, right? And let me say, this is something that we taken from Bolo. So big up yourself, Bolo. People endorse Bolo, right? In terms of Paul Buchanan, right? Response to this. There is no way, Jamaica, that Paul Buchanan, you understand, is going to lose his case. No way whatsoever. Under the Roper Act, you only want one issue. And that's it. With this, you have several issues. So there is no way Paul Buchanan is going to lose his case. Let us hear what Paul Buchanan has to say, right? And so for our naysayers, right, let us put it out for the naysayers there. Paul Buchanan cannot lose his case and will not lose his case. So let us put it out, right, and hear what Paul Buchanan has to say, right? And as I said, this was taken from Bolo, right? So big up Bolo. Let me just...
Ratigan and them man can show you. You can...
Okay, let us just put it back on it as to where him start. Can you navigate that for me, on it? Just put it back as to where him start. Just put it back like this.
Not one farmer ticket them as I
hold on.
Nobody
hold on, people. Let me just get it where him start.
How they got my boxes, I don't know.
All right. Let me just come down where we start.
1,000 lots I coordinated that program. Some votes. That gal
has been scoring some good scores. And so we don't want to hear it from a third party. Mr. Buchanan has already been a member of the Voice of the Nation platform. He have joined us before, and he has determined to come back and give us an update. So we're going to be hearing from Mr. Buchanan himself. And so let's
Okay, what is happening here?
Yep.
Okay.
We are live. Good. So, yes, people, as you know, the case went before the court. Unmute your mic. Went to the first court and it got a little bit not in his favor, and he challenged it again with Hugh Wildman and his attorney. And we have been able to see some winnings. And so we want him to continue to give us his update as to what's going on and walk us through on the next step and how is it we're going to take it from this stage to the next stage. All right, I think Mr. Paul is trying to join right now. Until then, I think the original man named like Jack or Sydney wants to say something until he come up so we could do it quick.
This campaign, I told you, he cannot an election in which from in the morning, Andrew Woolness realized that he was in the fight of his life. Because in all prior elections, going back about the last 30 years, what they do is flood the Olympic way and our people not able to vote. They don't want to go over through that Massa Green over in Tower Hill. Tower Hill, as you know, is a place you don't go on Christmas Day, much less in an election. There are 17 PDs over there. So your audience must understand that in this election, we outnumber them on Olympic way. So they couldn't intimidate us. Consequently, and Mr. Woolness said that I saw him driving up and down the whole day with 2 SWAT cars, intimidating my people. When him go do punt him to the crowd, when him see Mall Road, Tika, them can tell you about that. You understand? So we weren't afraid because, God was fighting with us. And from the beginning of this campaign, I told you, he cannot beat me. We just never execute the campaigns of the past the right way. You have Malines with 13,400 votes. That alone can win any election. Down to just intimidation and fear. So, what took place? But first of all, let me explain. I wanted to say something which I didn't say in the last time we were. I don't want people to just to come to an election situation or issue without knowing a little about me and why it was so difficult for him to prevail over me. From long ago, I should have been on the stage, and I'm not going to take up your time on the political stage. But I had won in West Rural. I have been to Parliament already. I had to turn back 3,000 votes that Gallimore had won by. Keith Duncan and others stood by and watched. Literally supported them. Now he's in the Senate, supporting them. Andrew Woolness, big friend. Gallimore had beaten Andrea Moore and Dr. Carol Archer by roughly 3,000. And he thought he was impregnable. And as such, he took him off the ball and he lost to me. The point I want to make is that I am Parliament is no stranger to me. I don't miss nothing. I'm not fighting to go to Parliament. All I'm asking is that we expose what happened on the 3rd of September. It's not about victory or defeat. It's about the atrocities, the breaches, the things that were done. And if the PNP don't keep them eye on the ball, if this continues, where money is used to bastardize the democratic process, what's going to happen is that we might never see power again. So to do that, there are lessons about this struggle that I'm on. And I have to pick up people like Tika and others to keep the fire burning.
Yes.
The officialdom of the PNP wasn't there downtown at Supreme Court. General people was there, the little people. The people of Michael Manley always believe is the real power in the land. They were there. They come out every day from all over this country in support of me. So whether them pepper spray them or not, they stood and they keep coming back, verbal, all of them. And that is the reason why one of the points of light in this campaign is people like Tika. She took on, she never go hide. She took on some of the rough PDs over toil. You understand? And she would have felt pleased to see Orange Pan Olympic way for the first time in an election, because this was a serious one. And I want people to not understand that it is not about winning as a member of parliament. It's about what you do. I left 150 computers up at West Rural, and not one has been accounted for. I left 5 IT centers up there. Nobody in the history of this country as an MP has ever come close. There might be 1 or possible 2, not 5. I had 1 at Oberlin, 1 at Stonehill, 1 at Red Hills, and 1 at Rockall, and 1 at Cavaliers, all gone under Juliet Cuthbert in an AI world, in a world of robotics, where for 3.5 years, I established those centers. And the young people were learning PMP and GLP, sit on side and side, learning IT. A lot of them have jobs today because of that period. We're giving them $22,500 a month in association with the Heart and the Universal Access Fund. 146 of them. So I wasn't asking to come to West Central to occupy space. And the great loss of this election is the AI center that I would have built, and we would have started by now. I would have built it on West Bay Farm Road and the no man's land. Because we have no concept about that. We want to build houses down there so we can get more vote. We have a constituency where the young people are left behind and they don't even understand political manipulation. My time is fast approaching. That's all I can leave with them. The only way they can compete in this world, in a world that artificial intelligence will take over, is we who lead and we are MPs and all of that. Is to change the landscape of that place. If you think about West Central, you think about Toile, 55 murders up to the election, leading the country in the year, pure contract killing. That is the legacy of his period. We were going to change the culture, make people look at West Central in a different light. Was going to bring Jamaica there. There you'd have to come and learn AI and robotics. The land is there. And this was a serious pledge, as I have done in West Rural, with my highway from Red Hills going all the way up to Wild, to Giant Nita, when you go Bagwalk. That's the best way to drive. That's my highway. The new Red Hill School, the water supply for the first time from Hermitage come down to Golden Spring, the clinic in Golden Spring, 3 clinics in 1 term. I had 147 such achievements. I wanted to change the landscape of West Central, so that is what we lost. Now, as to the breaches, and I'm going fast here because I want people to digest everything. what took place. You cannot have an election where if you think you can win an election, if you win an election, what are men doing in mass, invading stations? Why are men double voting? Why you change what is called the courier route? From Jews Avenue in the west, you go east on the night of election to the counting station. Why policemen came and took my boxes, gone west in a towel? Why they move from Mullines Road, go down Seaward Drive, and when them reach compound, which is them stronghold, and try lose my escort, they find themselves and turn again and go down a towel, and by people have to give up the chase. So can policemen accompany boxes without not even a GLP indoor agent, much less a PMP? At them and God alone have my boxes, or maybe them and the devil. And then you talk about you win, or you can win. You have 100 and odd boxes, and I lead you from 50 boxes out. I catch you and leading you. We come down to 30. We come down to 25. We come down to 20. And when it reach somewhere between 15 and 17, the internet disappear, and in West Central, the lights disappear. That's not democracy. And under the Representation of People's Act, it only take one breach, and you add a multiplicity of breaches. And that is where a brilliant counsel, a courageous man, right? A man who has stood up, who all his life he supported the Jamaica Labour Party, but this one him said no, sir. And him take on the case. And we have been fighting and fighting and fighting, right? Until we reach here. Because there are a lot of people who weary from struggling. Now, when you struggle and you take a lonely road, them call you and them say, make him go on. Make him go on. Make him go on. No bother with it. And they have some who come. And them want to come with them bribe and them money. But that can't be the sum of my life. I lose a 2021 Prado down there. Then block my repurchase of my gun, block my gun license. They do everything down there. And I'm still standing. That's what it will take. But I don't worry no more. And those a lot of people say, Mr. Bucking, afraid of your life and all them evil and all that. I don't worry. I have been there, I see it all. In Parliament, my colleagues asked, when Seaga was going to pay tribute to him, I did. When Nelson Mandela died, they asked again that I pay tribute to Nelson. I did. I thought I acquitted myself well. I have been there. I have achieved as a youngster. I played both football and cricket for this country. What has Wholeness done? At Pride, I give out 78,000 lots. I coordinated that program so Jamaicans' life could be changed. I changed the infrastructure of West Rural. I would have done better in this my last outing. I never asked for the seat. Party leader came and I responded, right? But this fight is the fight that will ensure that the PMP cannot say we didn't know. Then they must yield the lessons of this election and my struggle. They must come to court and hear a brilliant counsel make the case. It is not just a case for victory or defeat, it's a case for the soul of the country, the soul of democracy. Them don't have to worry, people don't have to worry. Them have to say, what are the commander fight the Prime Minister for? No better than nobody. What has he done from the bushes of St. Mary, where you have the bushing scandal, the police vehicle scandal, Petrodam, everything, it has not stopped. 45 billion take out a taxpayer's money. Forward take up of the lease funds were supposed to help us for the next 12 years and take it up front and take 45 billion to them building spark. And you can't take your eye off the road. It's not potholes now, it's some caverns. Nobody's accounting. NSWMA, the man who's supposed to hold the chair of one of the directors, Mark, the rest of them now have no qualification. But can you imagine one of the posts at NSWMA is that of a director of engineering services, and the man who hold it down, let's say the Auditor General says on the 5 CXC map. 5 CXC, skullduggery, corruption. You remember the illicit 8? You don't hear about that anymore. All of these 9-day wonders that my party bring up, and then you don't hear about them. It will not be so with me. From the day one, I have been on this case. I will not relent. And if by chance they help him out again on next month, then we go to the Privy Council. I will not relent. I will not ease. Nobody can talk to my fight. My fight is to the children of West Central and the children everywhere. And for make people realize they must have balls, they must learn to stand up. We are too easily bought, and that's why we cannot grow. We are too superficial. We don't understand what is happening in this country. We need to learn. We need to go back to, we need to understand Garvey. Because having not understood Garvey, we don't understand the power of education, and a young generation just adrift. That's why the IT revolution has bypassed us. A little boy at 27 years, Mark Zuckerberg, designed a platform named Facebook. And in total value is more than the entire GDP of Jamaica. More than the entire GDP of Jamaica. Just consider that one little man. And we are the country of Bob Marley. We are the country of Usain Bolt. We are the country of Marcus himself. There is nothing we cannot do. And we're supposed to have these IT, AI, robotic cells all over the country so that we can bring the IT, the software products to the stage for make us grow. It can't be banana and sugar and those things anymore. The creative industry is doing a lot. Remittance doing a lot, but we must break through in AI. We must do the big, and we have to start now. With the way behind. We have a digital platform that we can use and catch up. But we need the fixity of purpose. We need to stay straight. There's nothing there. Stop exalt Andrew Holness and him big jacket and believe him is prime minister. What is being done? Some of us go and die and never see the glory of what Jamaica could become. That's what my struggle is all about. Me and Andrew Holness used to sit down and have lunch back in Mobay at Pelican Grill. When he come to the stage and hold power, he has changed. And that's why people like Wildman have stood with me. That's why Wildman has stood with me, because there are some people who still believe in justice. And that is what this is about today. I don't know if you have any questions.
Mr. Paul, the most important thing.
Well,
I have asked you.
Jamaica, we have heard it from the man himself. And what Mr. Buchanan is saying, that he's going to fight with every single breath into his body. He's going to be relentless to seek victory because he's confident that an injustice was done. Now, under the Roper Act, if one incident simply means, of course, that election is going to be null and void. And what Paul Buchanan had presented, roughly about 6 or more. We have men invade the station. They have evidence of that. The vehicle changing the original route. Police accompanied boxes without witness. And the worst of it all, Jamaica, listen to me now. Why we know that? Paul Buchanan is going to create victory. And not only create victory, trouble for Andrew Holness. The constituency bears numbers beyond what resides in the constituency. Jamaica, want to listen here. The constituency, as it relates to the result of the election, bearing numbers beyond what resides in the constituency are what slated to vote. Simply means that Andrew Holness had utilized the Pegasus, and be glad that we have that evidence. As according to what Paul Buchanan said, he lead Andrew Holness up to the 15 and 17 boxes. And in an area that he can't lose, the result ended in Andrew Holness getting 7,054 votes and him get 4,953. So what am I saying here tonight? So if the constituency only bear 9,000 and odd people, and if the record through the electoral office have only 9,000 and odd people, when you check the number as it relates to 7,054 and Paul Buchanan 4,953, the total is 12,007. What a bangarang in the court. Jamaica people. Andrew Holness will have to explain the Pegasus. How did you get over 12,000 people when in the truth and in fact, melting pot, you only have 9,000 odd people canvas? What a bangarang melting pot. Come in, melting pot. What say you? Bangarang on this.
Well, I mean, the ego for win the for steal the election, get the better of them, you know. Yeah, that's them put more numbers than them should. But me glad them did. Because right away it give us, you know, reason to challenge them in that regard. Because the voter list can say 9,000 and then you end up having, when you tally between him and Mr. Buchanan, you get over 12,000, you know. You know, so that just show and highlight the breach. Yeah. But I like the stand where Mr. Buchanan I take right now. Yeah. And I like the choice of word where him use. Him say I fight this, I feel him fight. I for the children of West Central and the entire Jamaican. And I love that. Yeah. Because here is a man now who is not just only looking at for him side a representative, you know. But I look for represent the entire Jamaica, which is right.
But
yeah.
hold on. hold on, the significant thing what he said, that if he doesn't do this, Jamaica gone full autocracy and there's no way the PNP can stop Andrew Holness again. And he has to do it.
Yeah.
That is important.
He has to do it. Yeah. And we are fully 100% behind him in that regard. Because we know, if you don't stop this guy, you know, remember, Agintai Sem can win 8 consecutive elections, you know, when he have 50. That means I take this piece of garbage, the crime minister, all the way into 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want an old, broke down criminal garbage guy if you run replace with that extent of a time. But this is how they are arrogant in regard to what they had. When the whole of them know them, they sit down on Pegasus. Well, I'm glad me and you come show the Jamaican people say Pegasus really exists. Remember, the guy lie, you know, to law enforcement, you know, FBI individual, you know, about Pegasus. Same not have it in a 2019. But we go uncover the fact same have Pegasus, and we know same have Pegasus. And we know him use Pegasus in the last general election. Yeah? Because we were privy to the fact that they were going to steal 10 seats. Yeah, we hear that. But we never know the mechanism. You understand? And even when we try to analyze and put certain things together, we were still falling short until just the other day we go find Pegasus.
Yes.
Pegasus are when used to steal all of the election them. The man them create a euphoria never seen before. The 2 tech giants in internet went down. GPS went blackout on the night of election. Surprising, we have seen all type of activity that has never seen before. We even see Brinks park up a GLP member of parliament office in a St. Thomas. Brinks people.
Yes, that's true.
You understand? Because the money have to drop off to do them canvassing as it relates to vote buying. You understand? So there's too much variances. And remember, I only take one. So there's no way Mr. Buchanan will lose. When you hear Mr. Buchanan tell you, say, previous election, them can't walk certain place because them was outnumbered. This time them can't go through. And them say get Andrew mad. Andrew start drive up and down with 2 SWAT vehicles. Where Andrew do with 2 SWAT vehicles driving up and down through the constituency and election. When the 1944 People's Act tell us you must only come and stay for 5 minutes.
Talk about things, Spot.
And go about your ways. Go cool out till voting time, till counting time. You sit down whether your party headquarters or your private residence and you watch the procedure. This man was moving around like a madman or a madance in the constituency using the same politically aligned police force. Because this is what Andrew Holness is doing. That's why he is known as the crime minister. Him even get the JCF to become corrupted and in line with all his corruption. Yeah? When you have a JCF, yeah, that's supposed to serve, protect, and reassure, and supposed to keep law and order in the country. But they are the one who is breaking all the law and all the orders. Yeah? And not protecting anything. What they are doing, they are destroying everything as it relates to our constitution. Yeah? Our democracy has been sold down the drain by the Holness administration in favor of corruption. So there's no way, if this case should end up at the Privy Council, that Andrew Holness will come out victorious. And I can tell him from now, because him don't even know, say, BBC had their own coverage of the election in Jamaica on September the 3rd. And they were showing the same thing what Mr. Buchanan just outlined. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So there's no way he can find himself on the right side of the Privy Council. Yeah? And he won't be the first or the last. Several of them in the Jamaica Labour Party need to end up a Privy Council. Simply because of the fact of the matter, there is no justice in Jamaica. The Jamaica Labour Party has bought the justice system, have them in their back pocket, using a fictitious salary package. We know that to be corrupted money and pay them. Because when you move people's salary from 4 million to 12 million in a one go, that tell you something fishy is going on. And so all of these judge, yeah, DPP, they all been bought recently been bought, on the back of the high salary been awarded to the member of parliament. And I mean, this was done by Andrew Wallace and his administration. Yeah? It's not PMP do it. Yeah? A weak, thriving economy is paying the highest political salary. Mighty God. And then on top of that, a justice system that currently have more than 3,000 cases in front of them unsolved were also being awarded a high salary package. While the teachers, doctors, and nurses had to seek proper salary overseas, them have to leave Jamaica because the government was not entertaining any increase in salary for the teachers, the nurse, and the doctor. But you see, because them can't protect him, you know. You see who him pay the money to? The justice system. Buy them out. Yeah, and pick a nasty thinking dirty commissioner of police. Where him supposed to get kicked out. Where him mash up married people life. Yeah. And mash up the state vehicle. And when you say him pay feet, you know. And him supposed to lose him job immediately. This man was disrespecting his office and his married life by utilizing the state resource, iron vehicle, yeah, to have a whale of a time on a weekend. You understand? And when you look and see the disgraceful treatment at the motorists when run into, them leave the man on the other side. There was no one even engaging the man to find out if him alright, if him feel good. Right. No, them leave him on the sidewalk, sit down, I feel pain. While them attend to this piece of garbage, him and the woman, him and the man woman. Yeah, cause she and a wife, you know, she's just a woman. Yeah. That's why the husband have to kick her out, you know. So now him and her can have all the wheel of a time with them want to have. Yeah. But just show you say the society, yeah, has gone AWOL. And people who we entrust in high office, our civil servant, yeah, who supposed to remain, you know, in compliance with rules and regulation, they are the one who are creating havoc in the society. Yeah, they are the one who are making sure that Jamaica don't prosper. They are the one who are finding ways and means, yeah, to destroy the fabric of Jamaica. Because when you have people entrusted, yeah, in high office that's supposed to uphold law and integrity, but they are the one who are breaking them, then you're going to have a dysfunctional society. And that is what we are having right now. Nothing functioning in Jamaica. Because the people who are given that role and responsibility on a day-to-day basis are breaking the laws. When you look and you see the state of the homicide committed by the state, in a Jamaica. Unbelievable. Nowhere in the world you have that numbers brandishing about. Them come out and said 311 last year, and more than that, my Jamaican people. Because remember, this administration does not give you a true accuracy as it relates to numbers. And them gone 200 odd already. And we're talking about not even 2 years. You join the two numbers together based on what they are projecting. You gone nearly 600. But we do more than that as well. And you want to tell me that there's justification for this type of senseless killing by the state? Eh?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So we are seeing the dark side of the moon in Jamaica. When a light now shine upon the Jamaican people, when genocide become the order of the day by this administration. You understand? And as I said before, you know, they are destroying a lot of investment. You know how much for raise one picnic from it ban? Till Andrew kill it, whether 17, 19, 20, what? A whole heap of millions you have to spend by your picnic, you know. And this garbage crime minister what we have in the country, all the man in administration I do is murder the common Jamaican citizen. But not one Chinese, not one Indian, not one Israeli is being murdered. And not one high society from up at Beverly Hills. Everything I done upon the underprivileged society where them brandish as ghetto. And that's how them go seek them vote. But that's how them go kill the most. So me see a problem, yeah, where we are having racial discrimination in Jamaica. The Andrew Holness-led administration is racially abusing all Jamaicans, treating them like animals, like hogs. Just look how them do both body. I hear it drop out of the vehicle when it a drive. Yeah? No! I only hope the International Human Rights Council is taking a look at this particular video footage. We have several more before, you know, but this one, even though people are saying she a labor right, me not believe in a labor right and PNP, me believe in a justice. Me believe in my Jamaican people must be treated like human beings and not like animals. And in the regard of the action taken by the GSCF member of staff, it was this woman being treated like an animal. I remember, you know, people, when me living in the UK, you know, when you transport meat, you can, animal, you can't deal with it like that. Your livestock, you have to treat it well as you go to prison. And when you kill the livestock and you transport it, you have to hold it good and proper. You can't drive it on the road. Well, you know, so Jamaican people life deteriorate way below even the livestock animal what we have. This has to stop. This government is a rogue government.
Aye.
Rogue. There is nothing about them as it relates to law and order and principle. Garbage of an administration led by a crime minister. And so, in that regard, changes must be made. You can't have an evil man a lead you, you know, he will drown you. He will drown you, even in a river. Because we know say a sinkhole there, a blue hole, and tell yourself to cross this up. Yeah? In the case of this guy, yeah, who we know cannot be certified, them uncertified, going around masquerading as prime minister, when the entire world knows that him is a crime minister. It must be reigning. Because if you don't, then you're going to have the problem that Paul Buchanan just point out. The People's National Party will never stand a chance. This man has used all type of sophisticated element to keep himself in office. Pegasus, my people, breaching the privacy of citizens in Jamaica listening to your conversation, your text message, your videos, everything. And we are called upon the two tech giant, Digicel and Flow. We don't need to get a hold of this situation. Because if not, then you are only defrauding your customer base. International Council need to take a look at it. This guy is a Russian spy in the country, carrying out espionage on the common people, and then carrying out heinous act on the citizen by murdering them using the state resource. And I yield back the floor.
All right, Jamaican people, there you have it. You know, our melting pot giving his peace, right? I want to say big thanks to all persons who tune in, right? Listening to Mystic Sensation and continue, right, to supporting us, right? We come to the end of the live. Let me just hand over to Wifey for Wifey to take us out. Wifey? Okay, there's a call coming in. Let me just, we can entertain maybe a few calls before we go. Of course.
Yeah, man, make we hear with people and bring them in.
Let me just, yes, but could just do that. Yes, Carla, you're on the Mystic Sensation Live. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mystic. I just have a comment. Something that came to me while I was listening to Parliament today.
Yes.
In regards to the NHT. So the people who voted in the JLP, right? Like, I could be wrong, but I'm going to say the majority of them, they're not contributing to NHT. But yet, they've given him the power to take away working people's money.
That's a good...
Right? That's just a thought that came to me.
No, but it's not only a thought. That's a good observation as it relates to, right, some of those who are supporting him. However, right, we know that the election was stolen. So that level of defranchising, right, as it relates to our Jamaican people. However, I want to point out something in terms of, you know, your concern, right, with NHT. Now, if you look back as it relates to what the People's National Party had done when they took over the country, right, from Andrew Holness, because Bruce Golding was actually forced out of office 2011 as a result of the participation with the whole Dudu saga and so forth and the wrecking of our economy. Portia Simpson and Peter Phillips have to build it back, right? Now, if you go to the part as it relates to NHT funds, right, one of the criteria was that adequate funds needed, right, to shore up the budget space. And Portia Simpson, for the first time, used the NHT loan as a one-time usage. Now, that Andrew Holness, right, went on political campaigns, spoke about it, and you understand, said that, okay, all right, Portia Simpson is, right, defrauding, right, the contributors, and he said all sort of manner of evil, right, encourage persons to take the PNP to court and so forth and so forth. And let me tell you something, sister, and I'm glad you called and spoke about it. Portia Simpson did not act unilaterally, right, in terms of taking that one-time usage from NHT. She consulted with the technocrats. She consulted with PSOJ and all the business community, and they all agreed that, yes, that can be done. So Portia Simpson did not act unilaterally. But it goes to show you the evil of Andrew Holness, the danger of Andrew Holness. Use it as a campaign ploy, right, to sell a narrative and poison the atmosphere. But now let us bring forward to Andrew Holness administration 2016 up until now. what Andrew Holness is doing with the NHT. Worst, Andrew Holness is drawing down on the NHT every year. And the wicked and evil thing, not only that he's drawing down on the NHT every year, you know what he had done? He knew that SSL doesn't have business license, right? He knew that. Nigel Clark knew that. And they took money from out of NHT and put it in SSL. This man needs to go to prison. This man cannot escape the wrath of God. Yes.
You're very low.
Yeah, you're very low. Can you talk up? Yes, it's getting very low. What, oh. Hold on. Let me see something. Yes. All right. Talk again, sister.
The working people, they're not going out and vote, right? They're not going out and vote, making their voice be heard. But yet the people who are not working, many of the people who are not working, are the ones that are putting the JLP in power to take away their money. That's what I don't understand. Why people are not going out to vote and having people who are not working have the power over them.
You're coming in very low. I don't know what happened to your phone, and the people need to hear you. I don't know. Right? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you're better now. Coming too better now, Sir Byron.
Okay, all right. Speak, sister.
No, well, I'm kind of upset at the people who are not coming out to vote, especially those who are working. Right? They're throwing away their votes. They're throwing it away.
Okay, well, my sister, I'm glad how you are speaking and what we are saying to all Jamaicans that listen, it is critical for the participation of everyone, right? Vote in the process, as what the sister concern is. And, rightly so in terms of her concern, right? People need to come out and vote, right? Because you know what you understand we are facing. But, having said that, I honestly believe that 2026 is actually the year for reckoning. I don't think it is going to go to the next 5 years. That is my opinion, my sister. What say you?
I hope so too. Because even what Mr. Buchanan is saying, I don't know if you guys can hear me properly, but even what Mr. Buchanan is saying, how Andrew has nothing to show for the people he's supposed to be representing.
Nothing.
He's done nothing, right? And then he has his goons coming out to intimidate people, basically taking away the future of young people.
Exactly.
Taking away the future of the young people. And again, I'm asking the mothers and the fathers of those young folks who want to see them have a better future, please stand up now. Come out and vote. It's for your future, their future. They're unborn. Come out and vote. You have to come out and vote. You will never have the perfect system, but we can have a better system than what we have now.
Thank you, sister.
That's all right.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see if we can put in 2 or 3 more calls and then we close off. But, Melting Pot, one of the things that we have to preach even from now, I strongly believe that 2026 is the reckoning for Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party. Trust me, right? Because we have seen the red flags, right, coming out. But, right, we have to push the narrative that, listen, no one, any at all. I used to have a different opinion saying, take the money, name them out and vote them out. Yes, Carla, just hold the line there. Let me just make this point. I used to have this narrative said, take the money, eat them out, name them out and vote them out. But you know what? We are not going to go down there, right? No, we're not going to go down there, right? No one must take any money. You understand? No voter suppression. We are not going to go down there. So please, right, as I said, 2026, listen to people, you have heard Melting Pot and myself speaking about 2026. Trust me, you are going to mark my word. Yes, sister, go ahead.
Good night, Mr. Byron.
Blessing up, my sister.
Good night, Miss Anne. Mr. Melting Pot. Wow,
Bless
you
up,
really
sister.
continue melt the pot here, Melting Pot, same so it goes.
All right.
Beat it same way. Now, Mr. Byron.
Yes.
You hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. You're coming in quite clear, my sister.
Okay. I must commend my party and my leadership.
What a beautiful performance today.
I see that they're taking it to them.
Yes.
I see the momentum rising, and I want them to keep that pace and add to it, and don't stop, driver. No stop at all.
Aye.
Continue it.
Love
Add
that.
the pressure more and more. Beat it. Yeah, man. Them are going good. I so want to see it. It must be said, when them win the election, they were one of the best opposing party in Jamaica. That no one here.
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan, good up to you, sir. I like the stance you take.
Yes.
Forward ever, backward never. We're not afraid of Andrew Honest. We're going to show him, say, we are taking it to you, sir. I'm ready. We're ready. You understand? I like the stance he take and what he's doing. And we are behind him. Because we know Andrew Honest never win the election. He did not win. Him come with all of him hanky-panky and the corruption we know, same for use and all of that. We clearly know, and he knows that. The party know that too. So, make we see what the court is going to do with it. We're waiting patiently.
Oh, yes.
Now, let me say this, and lastly, I saw something this morning on Jamaica News page coming from Jonathan Grant High School with a male teacher. His name is Mr. Stevenson. And I want to big up Mr. Stevenson. As myself in the educational field, in that, let me outline what happened. The students, they were so happy. They lined up to congratulate their teacher. They brought him to tears.
Whoa.
One young man say where he was in life and what used to happen. And it was that teacher, Mr. Stevenson, who gave him guidance along the way that he could get the average he got. Majority of the man's class come out high with some big average, and they must show it. I was watching it. Jamaica News page. I said this. Teachers are the backbone of any country to guide children, to help them become who they are supposed to be. And when you see that they have that learning quality, you support them. Now, the teachers in Jamaica have to be leaving to go overseas because what they're earning, they can't survive on it. And it's not that money is not into Jamaica. It's not that they couldn't get a reasonable salary. But the thieving man, big nose Andrew Honest, take 300% and give the other ministers, right? And they are doing nothing, absolutely nothing. Because when somebody like Morgan in education, you know, say education in Jamaica not gone away because he don't fit right there, sir.
There you go.
He does not fit there. You see? And when somebody like Rhoda Crawford can do this so with that the position, all she does sit down behind Andrew Holness in a parliament and watch him back way.
Talk up the thing, sister.
What are they doing? They're nothing. The moped one, she don't even know where she's coming or going. Where's education minister ever be in Jamaica?
And that's no lie. That's fact. That's no lie.
You understand? And they are getting such a high salary for nothing. Watch some of them demean attitude in a parliament. laughing their way, no seriousness about the people's life that is in their hands to make laws. Careless people, them, some of them, God bless the few who have some integrity and morals in them. Just watch them behavior. It is something undesirable. Desecrate the parliament. You see? And look at the work teachers are doing. When the man sat there and he was just wiping tears and the children were just there, line up one by one going up, talking about Mr. Forrester, congratulating him. When you see it like that, he has to take on teaching and a fatherly attitude, nurturing. Teachers go beyond and your owners not see that. To increase the teacher's salary, let them live decent in the country. That thieving man, huh?
His regime doesn't believe in education.
God, it's a shame.
His regime doesn't believe in education. They want to rob education. The Jamaica Labour Party from the history.
Look how much them take out.
Exactly.
Out of education, look how much them rob out of it. And he has fired nobody and he couldn't. Because when he was there too, he did do some thieving.
Exactly. And still
Look into that. All the teachers are going beyond their call of duty. For these children, if teachers don't rescue some of them, they come to waste in the country, and that's what he wants.
Exactly.
They are called upon you, Andrew Holness. Treat the teachers better. If you can want to bring in foreign teachers, you can pay the teachers in Jamaica. They're doing a good job. They work very hard. You not doing no nurturing. Look what you are doing. Give police out of go kill off people, picnic. You don't care. The teachers care. And they ought to be treated better than that, Mr. Andrew Holness. What happened to you, sir? What happened to you? You are the leader of the country, and you don't have no morals about you. You just so. You just dung this so. Rise up, man. Rise up like a true statesman for your country and your people. It cannot go any longer. We're not going to take anymore. We're going to push you back. We're going to stand up, Andrew. We are ready to take it to you.
All right.
There's a few of us, and we are ready. And when we come together, we will be strong.
Together we are stronger.
You need to do better to govern the country of Jamaica. You didn't get it like that. You mash it up. And you don't want people to say anything. Look how you cock up your foot in a parliament like you have no cares, laughing away. And look the state Jamaica is in right now. And people are suffering up to the money where people clean faces and all of that in America to send out there and cut and give. You want your own hold on it. And you have it sit down there when you can pay the teachers better. Civil servants in the country can get paid out of it, and you still have more money. Where you keep it for? And your own. Stop thief Jamaica people money. So, Mr. Byron, make a done here so make it can go on.
Blessings, my sister.
Do better, because you will be judged by the Almighty God.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
Blessings, my sister. All right. The sister spoke truth, right? And we have to make that truth permeate today here, right? So let me just give, let me just give wifey, right, to close us out, right? So there you go, wifey, just close us out. And I want to say big thanks for all the persons who passed through tonight and, you know, stick with us. Right, we really appreciate it. Right, I want to say one love, melting pot. Right, always show at a moment notice. Right, always willing to go that extra mile and push out. Really appreciate it, Melting Pot. Wifey, close us out.
Okay, guys, thank you. Really appreciate each and every one. Safe travel on the gravel and stay blessed. Have a good night.
All right.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right kind of stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.